Hey there YouTube, Mayank Tyagi here and I welcome you to the new video of JavaScript series, and topic for this video is hoisting. But before that, if you are new and haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe and like and share this video as well. And don't forget to drop a comment as it will help me in getting better reach. Now let's get back to the topic for this video. First, let's see some example to understand the concept of hoisting. In the first example, I have taken a variable name and I am just consoling it. And you may have already guessed the output for this one will be undefined, not Mayank, it will be undefined. And in the second example, you can see there are two consoles. So in case of first console, the output will be undefined, but in case of second console, it will print the value as 10. And let's take one more example. And in this example, I am invoking the function before declaring it. And in function declaration, I have one console placed, and that is printing hello from the function or fun on the console. So the output for this one, what should be the output? The output for this one will be this console. So it will print hello from the fun. In some other programming language, it may throw some error like this fun is not defined or something like that. But in JavaScript, things work a little differently. And this is all happening due to the concept of hoisting. So now we have seen few examples, and on the basis of these examples, let's understand the concept of hoisting. But first, what actually hoisting means, let's see that. So let's see the definition of hoisting. So in JavaScript, hoisting refers to the process in which interpreter moves the variable, function or class declarations to the top of their scope prior to the execution of the code. What is it means? So it means like before the execution of the code happens, all of your variables, functions or class declarations move to the top of their scope. And if you want to know about scope or if you want to learn about scope, you can check my previous video that I have on this topic, and you can check that from the I button, and there is a link in the description as well from where you can check. So now let's back to the topic. So there is one thing that you need to keep in mind. So moving to the top doesn't mean it literally move the variable function to the top of the scope. It's just basic understanding, but it actually not right. So what is the right thing here? So actually the execution context plays the role here, and when execution context begins, it has two phases, one creation phase and the second one is execution phase. So in creation phase, memory allocation takes place for variables, and if variable is declared with var keyword, then a special value undefined is assigned to it, and then the execution happen. And in execution phase, in case of example, it just simply print the value that we are doing. So execution means like it will execute the code, but in case of our examples, it will just simply print these values that we have placed, like consoling the number 10 or consoling the name. So this thing it will do. Let's understand the this concept of hoisting in case of variable declaration with the examples that we have previously taken. So let's see that. In this case, as soon as execution context got created, first the variable num get allocated in memory and initialized with special value undefined, and then begins the execution. First line got executed and the value is undefined, then number got initialized with value 10 in second line, and in third line it prints value 10. So now you got how it is working in case of variable declared with var. One thing to keep in mind, it doesn't work in same way for let and const, that we will see in later part of this video. Now let's understand the function hoisting. It is kind of same as in case of variable declarations, variable declared with var keyword. So as the execution context start, the creation phase put the function declaration into the memory, and then the execution phase do its work of executing the function. So let's see this with the help of example as well. So in this example, the execution context creates the memory for the function and put the entire function declaration of fun in it, and then the execution phase execute the function. So putting the entire function declaration ahead into the memory at the creation phase is called function hoisting. Now let's take one more example, and you can see in this example we are getting an error. But why we are getting this error? So for this, the reason is here the function is not being hoisted. Instead it is assigned to a variable, and that variable is being hoisted. And when a variable got hoisted, in that case variable names move to the top of the current scope, not the assignment. So it doesn't matter what this variable is assigned to, like what value is assigned to this variable, but only the name of that variable is being hoisted. So which is totally different in case of function hoisting, as when a function declaration is hoisted, the whole function body is moved to the top of the current scope. But in this case, fun is being treated as a variable declared with var keyword, and before execution of line 2 and 3, fun is equal to the value undefined. That is why we are getting this error, fun is not a function, as we are trying to invoke a value or invoke a variable which is not a function. So that's the reason for this one. And now you may have understood, like, JavaScript only hosts declaration, not the initialization. Before ending this video, let's see how variable hoisting with let and const differs from variable declared with var keyword. So let and const variables are also get hoisted, but unlike var, there is no default initialization value. A reference error will be thrown if a variable is declared with let and const is read before its initialization. So let's see with an example. So as you can see, I am consoling the number, and after that I am initializing and declaring it. So you can see we are getting an error, that is cannot access num before initialization. So this is the error that is being thrown if we are trying to access the variable before its initialization and declaration. And the time span when it happens, like between the creation of variable binding and its declaration, this is known as temporal dead zone. So this is just a basic JavaScript concept, so you should aware of that. Sometime interviewer might ask, like, what is temporal dead zone? So temporal dead zone is nothing, it's just like it only happens with variable declared with let and const, but not with var. So in ECMAScript 6, accessing a let or const variable before it's declared within its scope cause a reference error, and the time span when it happens between the creation of variables binding and its declaration is called the temporal dead zone. So that's all about this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next one.